Is YouTube finally ready for 4K video? Well, let's find out. Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake of RobertoBlake.com helping you create something awesome today. So if you guys have been watching for a while, you know on Wednesdays I like to talk about photography, filmmaking, and camera gear, and today is no exception. 4K video is a great topic to cover for this, and it's something that I'm really excited about. You guys know that I built an entire video editing PC system completely around shooting and editing in 4K video, and so today's video is shot in 24 frames per second, 4K video for those of you who can watch that in playback. The rest of you have the option to watch it in 1080 or 720 if you're on a smartphone, so you guys can be watching this in just whatever you have the internet bandwidth for. But I want to talk about whether or not I think that YouTube is finally ready for continuous like 4K content, maybe even long form 4K content. We know that some big YouTubers, people like Marques Brownlee, aka MKBHD, Jonathan from TLD, and Austin Evans, and all the guys over at Team Crispy, these are YouTubers who usually prefer to shoot 4K video, right? Well, I don't know that I'm gonna go completely to 4K video continuously throughout the rest of the videos I upload to YouTube. I think it's something I want to experiment with more. I think this year, a practical goal for me to really ramp up my expertise in 4K video would be to shoot 100 videos for YouTube in 4K and edit them. I think that's gonna help me master 4K video this year. And the beauty of it is that 4K video is actually very affordable and very practical now. We have a lot of new camera gear that makes shooting in 4K video for YouTube practical, and that's why I'm doing this video. This video is being shot on my Panasonic Lumix G7, and that camera has gone down in price. It's now $500 to shoot 4K video with a touch screen and a lot of different bells and whistles. So that's actually really cool. The other thing is the audio for this particular video is being shot with the Sennheiser MKE 440. The Sennheiser team sent this over for me to check out and to review. There'll be some videos coming out including a full camera test with this, but for now you can kind of get a sense of the audio quality, and I think it's actually really good. So it's very affordable and practical to have a solid 4K video setup. You don't have to buy something as expensive as the Sony RX100 Mark V, which I did, in order to be able to shoot 4K video for YouTube. Like I said, the Panasonic is $500. There are some other more affordable cameras out there as well. There are some action cams that shoot 4K video that are around maybe $120 to $200. So you have options out there. Most of your smartphones today, if you're shooting on Android or Apple, are capable of shooting 4K video. So feel free to experiment with that as well. Most of your current televisions and even some of your computer monitors are becoming very practical to watch 4K video playback on. I know that was an issue in 2015 and even in 2016, but today it's not actually as big of a deal as that. You can get 4K monitors for around $200. It's not that bad. I think you can get some, depending on the size that you want, for around $150. So it's within the budget of the average consumer to be able to watch 4K video playback if they really want to right now. And I've seen, 4K smart televisions for under $500 as well. I'll link up to some of this stuff in the description below if you want to check it out. But I think that when you talk about shooting 4K video on YouTube, you have to think about, well, what's the practical purpose behind that? And depending on what camera systems you have, it may not be practical for you to shoot on 4K yet, or if you do, you might still want to downscale it to 1080. One of the things I talked about in a recent video was the fact that with the Sony RX100 Mark V, that even shooting 4K video, you have limitations of 5 minutes at a time before it gets into the overheating. Some people have talked about the larger Sony cameras still having overheating issues with 4K video, so that still might be a problem for a lot of people. But with micro four thirds cameras like the Panasonic G7, the GH4, and the GH4 and the GH5, which has just been announced at CES, which is probably going to be one of the next cameras that I buy. You have fantastic 4K capabilities. You can shoot for long periods of time. So there are a lot of reasons to be able to jump into this. One of the things that I like about 4K video is just the amount of options that are available to me. And because I have computers that are fully capable of it, even my Dell XPS 13 is fully capable of editing and rendering 4K video in a reasonable amount of time. I know that if you're a YouTube creator, that YouTube is actually trying to promote more people that use new features in YouTube. If you're using 4K video, there might be more exposure opportunities, and there might be automated playlist just for 4K videos that you could take advantage of, and it could be a hack to grow your channel. So if you can afford to do that, I'd encourage it. The other thing is that as it becomes more and more of a standard, it's a way to set yourself apart. There are only certain top tier channels, like I said, like MKBHD and a few others that are shooting in pretty much all 4K. And if that's something that you really are into, or you want to be able to stand out, that could actually be a hook for you. You could be one of the few channels that shoots everything in 4K. I know at some point eventually that might be the direction I go, just because I have equipment that can handle it, and because it's another thing to differentiate myself, and because I still do production and video editing and art direction, as Create Awesome Media, then the thing for me is that from a client standpoint, shooting 4K video is very attractive, and I can charge extra money for that and for the time that it takes to edit there. So if you're someone who's a video producer, it's worthwhile to move into 4K video commercially, just because it's a way to stand out from competitors, and it's a way to actually have something that you can value add to your pricing. So I would look at it from that standpoint, and it's a good reason to be able to invest into your hardware, claim that stuff on taxes, and also maybe on some level past some of the expense of that in your pricing. It's just something to think about. Overall, I don't think you need 4K video to be successful on YouTube. I think you can do great without it, but you guys tell me in the comment section what you think about the video quality here and in my 4K video that was shot on the Sony RX100 Mark V. I have that video up. I'll link it here for you guys. You can look at the 4K video quality of what I'm doing and see for yourself. Like I said, I want to try and shoot more videos in 4K going forward, so when I'm not using this camera on screen to kind of like show you guys the camera or the lenses or what have you, I might actually just shoot with this camera instead of my Nikon gear, so that I can shoot in 4K, and so I can edit in there, and I can just get get used to that process, and I can also be able to report back to you guys on what I'm doing, what's happening with that, how long it takes compared to shooting in 1080, how long it takes to render, and for me it's really not that bad. Usually the render times for me editing in 4K are usually like 1 to 1, 1.5, or 1 to 2, meaning that if I shoot a 10-minute video in 4K, it will take 10 to 20 minutes maximum to render that 4K video, which is not bad. And because of the computer build that I have, editing it and watching the playback in real time is not very hard on my computer system at all, because I have a dedicated GTX 1070 graphics card in there. I've got 32 gigs of RAM. I've got i7 processors, so I'm good to go. Yeah, I've got quad core in there. If I had 6 or 8, that'd be even better, but I'm doing just fine with my 4.0 gigahertz overclocked. It's tremendous for me. So I'm really seeing really strong render times out of this, even when I'm doing 4K. I can do all my color grading, I can add sound, and it plays out just fine. If you don't have a really robust system, maybe you hold off on 4K video and you only experiment with it every now and again. It might be easier for those of you who do weekly content. Me, even with a 4K video workflow, it could slow me down in doing some of those videos. So the thing is, I still think that I'm gonna do a lot of my videos in 1080 just to be able to work a little faster, and because I'm gonna start outsourcing some of the editing on this YouTube channel so I can put out even more content for you guys, what I will probably be doing is I might do 4K videos, and I'll do those myself. And then I would let someone else edit the 1080p stuff that's really simple and easy to edit with all my settings and all of my color grading, just pass that along, and then I do videos in 4K, and that could be how I kind of split things. So that could be very interesting going forward. If you have more resources or a bigger YouTube channel, or you have a business, that might be something you guys think about. I just think it really depends, but I'm excited about doing more with 4K video in 2017 than I've ever done before. And I hope you guys are looking forward to learning more about 4K video. Do you guys want more 4K video editing tips? Do you guys want to see what a 4K video editing workflow looks like in Adobe Premiere? Do you guys want to know about other video editing software that has 4K video capabilities? Let me know the answers to those things in the comment section. Also, question of the day. Are you going to step up to 4K video this year? Why or why not? That's going to be our question of the day. Also, let me show you guys something really cool about this camera before we close out. I want to show you guys how fast the autofocusing is for tracking on this camera, even with 4K, this does really good autofocusing and tracking on my face. I've programmed the facial recognition now, so you guys might have noticed that I don't have the autofocus feature like problems that I used to have when I shoot on the Panasonic versus the Nikon. And the reason for that, and why I can move back and forth and get really close in like this, and you guys can see it's in focus, move back, it's following me and it's in focus, side to side. I can do that because the Panasonic Lumix G7 has facial recognition tracking that I can put programmatically in here, so it's easier for it to just track my face and to autofocus accordingly. I'm shooting with the 14mm on this, which is a 28mm equivalent, for those of you who guys want to know that. And when I'm shooting on the Sony RX100 Mark V, I've also programmed facial recognition and facial tracking into this as well. So that means even if I'm with somebody else or there's other people moving around in the background, it will prioritize my face and it will track my face. So that's really cool. And that's another piece of this technology that you're not really getting as much of in other DSLR cameras from Nikon and Canon, except in some of their absolute newer stuff. But you have to pay a lot of money for those cameras. The Panasonic stuff, by comparison, and some of the Olympus stuff and Fuji, it's more affordable. It shoots 4K and it has so many tremendous features. So I'd encourage you to check those out, but I use everything. So it's not a brand preference thing. I just am a fan of these kind of features like Ziba striping, and I'm a fan of focus peaking and the facial recognition stuff, the longer record times. All of those things I think are really great features in these cameras versus traditional DSLRs. It's why I'm becoming a fan of mirrorless full frame cameras like the Sony system, the advanced point and shoots from Sony and from Panasonic and Olympus and Fuji. So that's why I'm getting into these cameras. That's why I'm getting into 4K. I just like options, you guys. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's one of the longer 4K videos I think I've ever done. Like this video if you like it. Let me know how the 4K image quality came out for you, and if you want me to do more videos like this. Check out the Wednesday content if you're into the camera gear, the filmmaking, and the photography stuff. That's when I do that. The playlist is on my YouTube channel. So maybe you check that out. As always, you guys, thanks so very much for watching, and don't forget. As always, you guys, thanks so very much for watching, and don't forget. Create something awesome today, even if it's not in 4K video.